Hello and welcome to the Ladies Best Life podcast. I hope you're feeling absolutely amazing today. I am filming this podcast live from Cape Verde, which is where I'm currently working for a couple of weeks. It's a bit of a working holiday, so getting escapism, making sure that I've got fresh air, connection, and lots of sunshine as well, which was definitely needed. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey. A little bit about why I currently do what I do and why I decided to make that change. In October 2020, we'd been through lockdowns. I was in the gym on the floor, so normal personal trainer in the gym before I was an online wellness coach. And I'd been a personal trainer for like 10 years. I'd loved it all the way along, and I didn't ever see myself as doing different. And I got to the point where I built up a team and it was going well. Financially we were doing great and it was good connection with the group, but I just started to lose that love for it. I've always been hyper passionate about mindset, psychology, why we do what we do, nutrition, how I can help people to change their lives. And it wasn't really hitting that spot anymore. I felt like I could basically do more. That combined with the closing and opening of gyms, the pressure of lockdowns, the fact that I was company director, so I didn't get any support from the government. And to be fair, I pivoted really well. So from when we locked down in March, I moved all of my clients online. So I just spent hours a day looking at a laptop, doing kind of standard personal training sessions. And I also kind of boosted what I had at the time, which was called the On-Form the On-Form Academy, which was basically online classes. We had 75 people in the group. And things were going okay, but every time I went back to the gym, like every time Boris was like, "Yep, okay, you can now go back to the gym," I was excited to begin, but then it came to like the third time and I was like, I'm gutted. Like, I don't want to go back to the gym. I don't want to be there trading an hour of my time for 40 quid. I want to help people more. I want to get into the other hours outside of the gym. And I remember one night I'd kind of got myself in a pickle. I was massively overworking, hadn't had like a holiday in ages, and I just felt completely burnt out. And went to bed, lay there, staring up at the ceiling, James next to me snoring his face off. And I just remember that kind of gut-wrenching feeling of, I can't carry on. I could feel like my heart pounding in my chest, tightness in my throat. And I was like, I literally don't know what I can do. I need to quit. I can't do this any longer. I don't want to go back and spend another 12 hours in the gym. I don't want to go back and, help people in this way. I know I can help people more. And I just remember lying there, getting myself into such a tiz, to the point that then I just started bawling my eyes out. Like, it went from a bit of a thought of worry to, I actually can't do this anymore. I cannot carry on. Like, I need to make change. Like, I don't know what to do, to then lying there crying my eyes out, to James being like, what's going on? Like, what's happened? Why went to bed 2 hours ago and now you're here crying your eyes out? And I physically remember sitting up in bed, my hands like this, my hands like covering my face, and just sobbing. I was bawling my eyes out. And I remember him saying to me, like, Sash, something has to change. You need to do what you want to do now. You need to, do what's right for you rather than what's right for everybody else. And as hard as that night was for me, it really was a pivotal moment of, I can't keep doing this. And my body is giving me all these signals, like the anxiety, the tightness in my throat, the heart racing, all of those feelings were my body saying, look, something's not right. We need to make some changes. And it was that weekend that I reached out to Phil, who I'd been following for many years. And I was like, I'm ready to learn to do this in a different way. I don't want to step out the fitness realms. I don't want to step out the weight loss realms. I want to help women specifically, but I can't keep doing it in the way I'm doing it, because I know I can help people more. And just reflecting back on that moment, lay in bed, that sheer panic, that gut-wrenching feeling of like something needs to change, is so powerful, because it reminds me why I do what I do and why I feel so blessed to be able to do it. Like, literally working here from Cape Verde, I'm on the laptop. I've been on the laptop for like 4 hours already today, and it's an honor. But at that moment, I didn't know what would be possible. I actually had no idea where I wanted to go. And I had no idea how I was going to make it happen. You know, that feeling of like, I just know that I don't want to be here. That was the exact feeling that I had. And that may land with some of you when potentially it's in your physique. You know, you just know that you can't be here in regards to your energy and your physique anymore. You know that you can't carry on living life this way, like coexisting at bottom of the priority pile. You don't actually have to know where you're going. Just knowing that you don't want to be here is absolutely fine, because that will prompt action. And I don't mean just surface level action. I mean like long-term action of, this is not where I want to be. I need to make changes. I've got to get out of here. So I put together some steps that I want you to consider if this is landing with you. That feeling of knowing that you cannot carry on and something absolutely has to change. Step number 1 is know that change is literally the only answer. Changing something. I don't know what that could be, because obviously we could be talking about a relationship here. We could be talking about your physique, your energy levels and your productivity. The fact that you're coexisting at the bottom of the pile. Could be talking about business like mine was. So just think about it and go, right, what first of all has to change? And I'll tell you what it was for me is accept that I'm going to be letting people down. None of my clients wanted to lose me as their PT. And that was so hard to deal with that, because I care so much about my clients. I care so much about helping them on their journeys. And it just felt like I was letting them down. So that was the first thing that I realized, is that I'm going to let people down, but I can't keep letting myself down. I can't keep people pleasing. I can't keep putting everyone else before me. The second thing is to trust yourself. And the more I've worked with women over this past 2.5 years as an online wellness coach, the more I've realized that women generally tend to not trust themselves. They cling on to control because they don't trust themselves in a way that they could or should do. And that then feeds into behaviors where you are looking for other people to kind of go, yep, that's the right thing. You're doing the right thing. So you're being validated by other people. It is also one of the main reasons for me that I didn't do action. I didn't take action because I didn't trust that by changing what was already controlled and fixed, i.e. being a personal trainer and running a personal trainer's business, I didn't trust that I would have the skills to get me out of that place. I knew, right? I know I'm courageous. I know I'm strong. I knew I would be okay at whatever I did, but I didn't trust that I would have the tools and the resources to get me to where I wanted to. And that leads quite nicely into the next point, was don't be afraid to hire support. Now, I could no way be where I am today without the guides and mentors that I've had over this past 2.5 years. I've had a counsellor who's helped me deal with some stuff to do with childhood, which is an absolute no-brainer if you're looking to really kind of advance who you are as a human and take yourself to the next level, and even just understand yourself so much more. A lot of the time people will go, I am just the way I am. No, like, you've learned to be this way. You know, for me, for example, patience is one of the things I lack most. I really have to work hard on that. Why am I being impatient? Why am I trying to force the outcome? Why am I trying to force and control, so many situations in my life? Why can I not just surrender and let it be? So hiring support is step number 3. And it doesn't so think about the vast areas where this could apply to. It could be that you actually own a business, but you're not happy with the way it's going. So like me, you hire a business mentor. It could be physique, productivity, people pleasing, hire a wellness coach, or even a psychotherapist or a counselor could be the best thing for you to do in those scenarios. Look at where you can get the help that you need. And a little side note to this, I had 2 business mentors before Phil. 2 of those didn't give me what I needed. Am I annoyed that they didn't work? No. Did I still learn something? Yes. Have they guided me to get to where I needed to be, which is exactly where I am right now? Yes. So don't put that pressure on yourself to know that actually sometimes you're going to hire people, you're going to work with people, you're going to go down little roads and avenues that may not 100% be right for you. Give yourself the permission that you're just exploring, you're just experimenting, and that's okay. Don't put so much pressure and control over it. Step number 4, ironically, is patience. Embarking on a journey of change, people pleasing being reduced, no longer seeing yourself as bottom of the pile, accepting that something has to change is not easy. Or at least it doesn't feel easy. The way that I see it now is, imagine if I was still back there, having heart palpitations, having anxiety that I didn't want to carry on this way. That was so much harder now upon hindsight than this. Going through the journey of change, evolving myself and stepping out of my comfort zone has all been the kind of stepping stones that I needed to take in order to get to where I am now. And therefore I wouldn't trade it for the world. So although it can feel hard and it can feel scary, what is going to mean more to you in 10 years' time? Feeling the fear and doing it anyway, but having patience for the results, making sure that you are not trying to force the outcomes and really allowing yourself to trust yourself and know that it will come if you keep doing the do and you keep kind of going, okay, I don't want to be here, so I need to keep doing things differently, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Or staying stuck in this position that you're in right now. For me, that patience and that acceptance that I can't control everything and that it will take time, but I will get there, has been the easiest thing to do once I took the first step. The next step is to breathe. Okay. In that moment, like, again, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Like, in that moment where I was almost having a bit of a breakdown, I forgot to breathe. I forgot to communicate. I forgot to check in with myself before I got to that point. And I don't hate myself for it, because I did the best I could with the tools I had at the time. But knowing what I know now, I constantly check in with myself. Am I doing what's right for me? Am I people pleasing? Am I burning myself out? How can I learn from this? Slow down. Take a breath. Honestly, combine that with the patience and the self-trust, and it's going to be a game changer. Breathe in the moment. In that moment when I was, having those heart palpitations, crying my eyes out, James really got me to breathe. He got me to slow down. And that was so beneficial, because when we're emotional, we're not logical. We can't think straight. So again, that's where a mentor can really help, because if you get caught up in the emotions of losing weight or, changing your life, for example, you're not going to think as clearly as you potentially need to. So someone with a different, fresh kind of perspective can be an absolute game changer. And then the final point is, don't get too caught up on feeling like you need to be clear on the destination. No way in my wildest dreams would I ever have thought that I would be where I am today, back when I was in bed on that October evening. No way. I could not fathom being where I am right now in regards to the impact I'm having on this planet, the voices and messages that I'm putting out to the world, and the ladies that I'm helping, the community that we've built, the coaches that I get to work with. No way could I have ever have dreamt of that. But what I knew was that there was definitely a need for change. So please don't get too caught up on the where. And some of you, so you generally tend to have away from thinkers and towards thinkers. So some of you, I was away from. I just knew that I needed to get away from where I was. And you might be the same. I don't know what goal weight I want to be. I just want to get away from this. I don't know what level of people pleasing that I want to drop, but I know I just want to get away from where I am. Others of you will have a really clear, crystal vision of where you want to go. So be clear. Just think about what's right for you. Are you away from? Are you towards? What is it that you are needing to kind of focus on right now? And don't put pressure on the other. So if you don't know what you're running away from, but you know what it is that you want, great. If you don't know where you're going, but you don't want to be here, great. Don't try and force yourself to have answers that don't sit right for you and your personality. Okay, they will start to get clearer as you start to take action. And remember, action is the only answer, and action that is different to what you've tried before, because if what you tried before didn't work, it's not going to work now. So for me, going from that point of completely having an absolute meltdown, having a bit of a breakdown, lay in bed on that October evening, to the weekend after hiring the coach that I knew I needed for so long, like literally for years, but I didn't trust myself. I didn't understand how it could work for me, to literally going, I cannot carry on like this anymore. Someone fucking help me. That was my pivotal moment. And that is why I now do what I do. That is why I help women who were in that phase of burnout themselves. Could be that they are losing their shit with children all the time. It could be that they're literally just so busy in work all the time that they can't think properly. Whatever it is, I help them to get out of that stuck place into a place where they are living life where they feel so much better. They've got support, they've got accountability, they've got community. They are living life that is right for them. And it doesn't mean, like I did, like drastically changing your business. It doesn't need to mean that. A lot of the time, actually, it's small little changes. So I hope this has been beneficial for you. Thank you so much for listening. Have an incredible day.